All right, Brakatah Yahweh, Brakatah Yahweh Shai, Brakatah Yahweh, Brakatah Yahweh Shai, Call Halal Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, Bashim Kakodash, double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, blessings and salutations into the hopeful elect, news in the gospel of God, lifting up the standard of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. This is the Aki of Mahalaya coming back with another lesson through the Spirit, and probably Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, Lord's will to be edifying. This is just a lesson through the Spirit. This article that I've came across, and I know brothers have given their insight on it, about how this ploy that he is using to label our people the progenitors of this coronavirus nonsense, this pandemic that was strategically orchestrated by the elites, all right, to basically blame Jake for this particular pandemic. Because if you pay attention to this whole sentiment, at first it started off as the Chinese coronavirus, all right, with some Asian lady who started from some type of bat soup that these Moabites eat, because they eat a lot of abomination. And then all of a sudden they had a video of a chick eating bat wing soup. You had a damn bat, some chicken noodle soup looked like a bowl of piss, all right, and yeah, she was eating a damn bat. And all of a sudden they talking about how COVID started from a damn bat. But all of a sudden that quickly changed the narrative on that and stated, well, you know what, blacks and Hispanics are the primary progenitor of COVID-19, as if you have a predominantly majority of black and Hispanics over there in the land of Asia, which you really don't, okay? Even though Jakes are among those people, predominantly of those people of Moabite descent. All right, so all of a sudden, when you get in the United States, and all of a sudden the Chinese coronavirus now is just a coronavirus, and all of a sudden so-called blacks are the recipient of this, Hispanics and Native Americans, which shows you that they're doing nothing but accusing you, Jakes, and trying to put this stipend on you to be justified on putting vaccinations in you. And I know we sound like a broken record because we go into this weekly, but ultimately we have to drum it in your mind, because that way the Most High have the warning out here. You can't say that you weren't told that they was going to use this narrative in order to push forced inoculations on you people. All right, so therefore you have no excuse. But ultimately, you notice they've been paying attention to the Israelites, because they even said blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. And who else put the order of the tribes in their respective order outside of us? Nobody. That shows you that Esau Edom is coming down with great wrath on our people, and this is to label you and lump you up to be justified on putting injections in you to rid you, man. All right, this is a serious thing. This is not a joke no more. It never was a joke, but this is a real thing, and this is a real agenda. And they want to kill off roughly 6.5 billion people, mainly Israelites, because if you read the scriptures, majority of the world is really the children of Israel, because the Most High said that we would be like the sand of the sea. All right, so it says COVID-19 kills far more Hispanics and black children than white youths, federal statistics show, which that's a damn lie. All right, because for one thing, Jake, we have healthy immune systems, because for one thing, we have pigmented. We're pigmented. All right, we have melanin. We have stronger genes. But what he has done, he is coming up with certain medicines and potions and certain illnesses that he spread upon Jake's neighborhoods within, the chemtrails, the food source, all these particular things that he have unleashed on Israelite communities have weakened their immune system. So it appears that we're the weaker strand of the race. But in fact, that's not true, because we know that so-called white people are very susceptible to viruses and to being taken out by viruses, because for one thing, they have what you call recessive genes. All right, they don't have dominant genes, and on top of that, their immune systems are a lot weaker. So in fact, it would be so-called white people that would be more vulnerable to dying from this, what they call a virus, all right, than so-called black people. But like I said, this is all a ploy to blame you for this, to be justified on taking you out, man, because they even stated that, they said, during the briefings, they said after the healthcare workers and the essential workers are vaccinated, then we're going to go to the blacks, Hispanics, and Native populace in that order. All right, so this is a freaking lie right there, all right? We know that blacks and Hispanics and Native Americans are the stronger race of people. We're more protected, okay? We're dominant. Our genes are more stronger, etc. We can live in the sun, versus the so-called white man. He can't be in the sun for extended periods of time. So how in the hell are we more susceptible to catching a freaking virus as such? It doesn't make any sense, which shows you that this is nothing but Esau's way of lying and shifting the paradigm to our people, man. And you got Jake out here that don't know what the hell is going on, man. You know, they don't give a damn about this, man. You try to tell them and warn them, they're going to come and force you. And Jake turned the other cheek to it. You know, simple as all hell. And then when their doors are getting blown off the hinges, then they want to ask questions. Now they're afraid, you know. And that's another thing, too. They've duped you people down with bread and circus. All right, bread and circus. They're giving you back sports. All right, they're giving you back shopping to some degree. You know, the price of gas have went down a few cents, maybe 15, 20 cents. You know, it looked like the economy is still intact, but that's nothing more than a distraction, so you people can believe that, when in fact that's totally not the case, man. All right. So anyway, it says here the coronavirus is killing Hispanic, Black, and American Indian children, the Israelites, and they know that, at much higher numbers than their white peers, according to federal statistics released Tuesday. Okay? So wait a minute. For one thing, you got to ask yourself this. Why trust anything that the government talks about? Why trust what they say when they've been known to drop atom bombs on people, when they've been known to inject men with syphilis, when they've been known to give people AIDS and, you know, spread cancer among certain nations? Why would you believe anything that this federal statistic even say? But you're going to have a lot of simple ass jakes out there that's going to believe this and say, you see, we are getting sick from this. Like this clown I ran into the other day. I was working, and we got into a little conversation, man. And I said, yeah, this is a bunch of bullshit. He said, well, it's real. You know, such and such got sick. Motherfucker, that's what they telling you, man. Unless you caught the shit, you know, or unless you actually know they got it without any underlying causes, then you can't sit up here and say, well, somebody caught it. Don't you know that they're going to lie about that just to be justified on spiking numbers so they can be justified on doing what the hell they're going to do? Because like Trump said, they're going to use the military to exert force on people that decide to not take the damn vaccination. So we coming into some real dark times here, man. All right? And they talking about having a shitty winning at that. So, hey, man, look, Jake, y'all got to get it together, man. And you know what? We ain't talking to the 2/3 of you people. We're talking to the whole select that may still be partying and lollygagging out there in the world. All right? Because, hey, they're going to come down with this, with extreme prejudice. Coincidentally, all those videos we saw back in 2011 and 2012 about when you see those UN and you see those MRAPs and those different tanks and militarized vehicles being shipped through freight trains throughout the United States, you think that they got rid of those things? Those things are still here, man. All right, brothers been riding up and down the highway, and brothers been seeing FEMA coffins and stuff like that, been reporting on it, you know, active FEMA camps, all types of stuff out here. Why do you think that they're digging so hard? Why do you think that they're digging on a highway more than ever? Why do you think, like in the state of Missouri where I'm at right now, I noticed they're changing all the highways, man. They're putting exchanges on all these highways. Why is that? Because, hey, exchanges lead to roundabouts and they lead to other highways and they lead to exit ramps, man, and they connect. So therefore, when they do their thing, they can just come in and get you and bam, there you go. And a lot of these particular highway construction experiments that they're doing is to be justified on setting out roadblocks, man. Because in the midst of a pandemic or in the midst of any type of crisis, if they decide to shut down the cities, you ain't gonna be able to travel these interstates. All right, so they're changing pretty much all the roads in Missouri, you know, and they already started. They're already shutting down. They already got the road closed signs. They already got these things out here, and on top of that, 5G. So hey, man, how about Shai? Hey, he's getting ready to make the moves. He's not playing games with you people no more. All right, and it says here, the new numbers, the most comprehensive U.S. accounting to the date of the pediatric infections and fatalities. It says shown to have been 391,814 confirmed cases and 121 deaths among the people under the age of the 21st February to July, which that's a bunch of damn lie, because when I looked at the CDC sites, they said by July, they said that it was next to no cases. So where the hell is this coming from? You see what I'm saying? This man is a damn liar. And on top of that, why they're bringing out this article now? Right, we're entering the fall season. Why are they doing that? because these statistics are going to show that that you tribes are the primary recipient of this particular virus, and that it's a urgency to vaccinate you and to put chips in you. And if you don't take it, they already stated that, look, they can detain you. Like I just did a video the other day about how they said prepare your children to stay at school or to have an overnight sleepover in these internment camps, aka these schools, because they could turn a school into a FEMA camp. I mean, it's easy. The only thing you gotta do is quarantine you in there. So, hey, it's a lot of heavy shit getting ready to happen, man. And we're warning you, we're telling you. What Jake do? Jake's still proud, man. You got black woman out there still twerking, still showing her ass on the internet, talking shit to the prophets, all types of madness, man. But you know what? This is good that this is happening, because a lot of you gonna get caught off guard, like the scriptures say, when they should say peace and safety, then sudden destruction, man. All right? And it says, of those killed by COVID-19, which COVID-19 sounds like a fucking manufactured thing. It don't even sound like a real virus, man. COVID-19, which it's a number behind it, which shows you it's a patent on it. Somebody owns it, and somebody's making a killing off of it. All right? But COVID-19 means see the sheep surrender. 19, I believe in medieval times, means to surrender. Vid is sheep. COVID means to see or see. COVID. Vid means, I believe, sheep, if I'm not mistaken. All right, so they already got the the curriculum planned out on how they was gonna loop you people into getting this vaccination. Okay, and it says here, of the illness caused by the coronavirus, have been more than 3/4 have been Hispanics, Black, American Indian children. But I thought that children wasn't catching this, you know. Back when they said it was the Chinese coronavirus, they said that kids wasn't attracting it. They said it was only people 15 years and up. They said that before then, they said children under the age of 15 was not likely to contract the coronavirus. Now all of a sudden, it's killing a lot of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, which is a bunch of BS. All right, and on top of that, they said that the mortality rate is less than 1%. Okay, and you have a 99.8% recovery rate. Like I said, it's nothing but a flu with hot sauce on it, man. Now, where's all this shit coming from? They're twisting it. They're twisting the logic, man, because they know you people are too stupid enough to believe it. All right, and this is what they're gonna use to be justified. To be justified, Salakia, throat dry. To be justified on bringing these and extracting these military troops into your neighborhoods to basically force this down your throat. You know, and there you don't comply with it, it's gonna be all hell for you, man. They're gonna bust you upside your head and drag you to the nearest FEMA camp and forcefully put this thing in you. But that's for the people that's not covered by the spirit and power Yahweh Shai. Men like us, Lords, will be covered if he accepts our sacrifice. Hopefully we don't have that fate. And even if we do get tarred off and detained, hopefully the Lord be with us to give us a way out of that, man. Okay? But the rest of you people, you gonna get fucking brutally massacred out here. All right? And good for you. But anyway, it says previous studies have found that the virus death toll is twice as high among the people of color under age 65 as for white Americans. So you see how they're targeting you now? You notice they ain't say the Asians, they ain't saying the Japanese, they ain't saying Chinese. They ain't even putting the Arabs in there. They're not even putting the East Indians in there, which they live in a third world country. They're prone to all types of illnesses. But yet, why they ain't talking about Elam? Why they ain't talking about Moab? Why they ain't talking about Ammon? Why they ain't talking about Ishmael? You see, to show you that this is a particular plan that they got against our people. Now all of a sudden it's people under 65, but I thought it was people that was dying for it that was up in age that had underlying illnesses. You know, I thought it was that. What happened? You see, and that's the spirit of, because right now I'm outside and we supposed to have a clear week this week, but that fire smoke, it traveled all the way out into Missouri, all the way from Oregon and parts of California. Hey. You see the smog out here, all right? You can tell that it's something in the air, you know? So that shows you that the Lord is moving, man. These are fires all the way on the West Coast. I'm all the way in the Midwest. But yet, you see smog from the smoke from the fires in Oregon all the way out here. Oh, man. And if it keeps burning, then, hey, it's just going to eventually, that shit going to come out here. Because you can tell, you can see it. And that's how bad that is burning out there to this day, you know? So, hey, the Lord, he ain't playing games no more, man. But it says people of color also disproportionately make up excess death. And those killed by the disease without being diagnosed, or those killed indirectly as a result of the virus wide affecting the healthcare system. Like I said, who's been killed by this thing? Who they can say died from it? All right. But it says anyway, but the racial disparities among children are in some way more stark than of those in adults. See, they're coming for your children. No coincidence they came out about the whole thing. Let's let the kids go back to school. Now all of a sudden Black, Hispanics, and Native American children are dying from this. You see what I'm saying? You see how they're trying to target you? And you see how they're going to use this to actually get a lot of you jakes off your rocker? But anyway, it says, of the children and teens killed, 45% were Hispanic, 29% were Black, 4% were American Indian. But there's the strongest evidence yet that there are deep racial disparities in children, just like there are in adults, said John Williams, chief of the Pediatric Infectious Disease of UMPC Children's Hospital of Pittsburgh. It says what that should mean for people is steps like wearing a mask are not just about protecting your family and yourself. It's about racial equality. But one key factor could be underlying health disparity among minority children whose young adults. But about 75% of those who died had at least one underlying condition. And the most frequent were asthma and obesity, two conditions that disproportionately occur in minority youths. Wow. Basically saying your kids are too fat, they out of shape. That's why they're catching it. All right, this man is a demon, man, all right? You can't believe nothing this devil says. But anyway, this is what they're going to use to come down on Jake. All right, so you Israelites out there, hey, your time of partying and having a mirth and fun, that's over with, man. You can forget about it. It's over with. Because, hey, how about you? How Shai has a controversy with you. And this is Jacob's trouble. You see it playing out. Okay? So this is the book of Revelation 12. And I'm going to start at verses, let's start. Yeah, matter of fact, this whole chapter is good, man. Honestly, the whole chapter is actually excellent. But let's start at... Yeah, let's start at 10. It says, and I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now must come salvation and strength and the kingdom of our power and of his anointed. And the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which he accused them before our power day and night. All right, accuser of thy brethren, he's accusing us of being the primary recipients of coronavirus, which that's a lie, all right? Because like I said, people of color have more stronger and dominant genes, man. Even look at East Indians, look at the Asians. They're people of color, okay? They have a pigment. They have strong immune systems. Why aren't they being targeted? You see what I'm saying? Why aren't the East Indians being targeted? You see? It makes a lot of sense. These are people of color. East Indian, you got East Indians that's darker than the darkest Negro. Why aren't they put in this thing? Why just so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans? The Israelites, you know? But it says here, and they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony, and they loved not their lives unto death, okay? And this is the hopeful elect. Lord's will, I'm part of it. But, hey, it says the accuser of our brethren is casted down, all right? And therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. But woe unto the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down to you having great wrath, because he knoweth he have but a short time, all right? So this is why he's coming with these particular laws and provisions to come against you, because, hey, he knows his time is almost out of here, all right? So going back into the article here, and this is actually from the Inquirer. But, matter of fact, I think I lost it. Yep, so anyway, it says, on one hand, the small total number of deaths is reassuring. It says, you're talking about hundreds of thousands of children affected and only 121 killed, said Frank Esper, the pediatric infectious disease specialist at Cleveland Clinic Children's Hospital. But at the same time, proportions at which minority groups are dying are hard to ignore. So basically, they saying even though ain't a lot of people dying, it says that majority of them are Blacks and Hispanics and Native Americans, all right? But like I said, when I did the video a few weeks ago on the CDC's numbers, the numbers didn't add up. It was down to zero to no new cases, no none of that. And even Trump stated that the cases were going down, all right? Even people were saying that, but nonetheless, they're playing on the narrative of this because this is what they're going to use in order to bring about a totalitarian government. But it says the CDC also pointed to underlying health disparities that minority children are more likely to experience than their white peers. Why is that? okay? Crowded living positions, food and housing insecurity, wealth and educational gaps, and difficult accessing health care because of the lack of family resources, including insurance, child care, transportation, or sick leave, okay? And there you go. That's systematic racism right there. Something that Trump himself denied. Oh, we don't believe in systematic racism, but why are Jake slummed into the ghettos, and why is Esau living in the most plush suburbs with the better supply of food grade, got better supply of water, better school systems, but yet Jake, they're living in the most infested GMO-ridden neighborhoods, man. All right? And that's one reason why Jake is all weak and sick out here. But it says, but Tuesday's CDC report reinforces another prominent characteristic of the virus, that it becomes increasingly lethal with age. But among children, 10% of deaths occurs in infants age 1 or younger. But roughly 20% of pediatric cases were between 1 and 9, and the remaining were between 20 and 20. But I thought no kids was dying from this. Now where is this coming from? All right, but the way the virus attacks the elderly and leaves the very young relatively unscathed has been the central and puzzling mystery to scientists. Like, this damn virus is just that goddamn mysterious. Like, they can't figure this shit out. This man is a damn devil, all right? He's the devil. And anybody that believe in this shit, you need to be fucking destroyed, man. Because this shit is ridiculous, man. And this is why he's doing what he's doing, because you idiots out there, you buy this shit up and you believe in it. And they give a dumb nigga a fucking NBA playoff and all of a sudden he's cool with it, man. But anyway, it says, in that regard, the novel coronavirus behaves differently from other viruses such as the seasonal influenza. See how they try to put that discrepancy between the two? Because they don't want people saying, well, this is the same kind of thing, the same particular viruses, or they don't want you to use the herbs. You see, they ain't promoting better lifestyle. They just tell you to come and get something stuck in your body, and that's going to kill you. And it says, but the other viruses are especially dangerous for the very young and very old. But figuring out why children are less affected, researchers believe could help them understand how and why the virus sickens and kills other age groups. While there are not yet definitive answers, emerging evidence suggests a key protein called the ACE2 receptor, which the coronavirus used to enter the cell. It says it's present in lower amounts in the airways of children than adults. Alright, whatever, man. Wow. But you notice they're not mentioning other nations. It's only blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, which we told you, Jakes, that they was going to do this. But anyway, this is the book of Revelation 2:20, and I'm going to start at verses 3. It says, and he cast him into the bottomless pit and shut him up and set a seal upon him, that he should deceive the nations no more till the 1,000 years be fulfilled. And after that, he must be let a little season. All right? This is the little season we in, so he's out to deceive the nations. This is nothing but mere deception that our people are buying up, all right? But they're going to be victimized because of it. Because why? They didn't accept Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. And the Lord ultimately rejected our people because, for the simple fact, hey, they didn't return unto his beck and call. When he called through the prophets, our people, they didn't want to hear it. All right, so this is the book of Psalms 83:2. It says, for lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head, and have taken crafty counsel against thy people. And this is a crafty counsel. Oh, let's just say coronavirus, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are the primary people that's dying from it. When that's a bunch of bullshit, man. When whites are more vulnerable to diseases and bacterial infections than Jake because they lack pigment. All right, even doctors or scientists will tell you that. And it says, and consulted against thy hidden ones, and they have said, come and let us cut them off for being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. All right, and this is what they're saying through their councils, through their secret councils. And it says here, they have consulted together with one consent, and they are confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom, all right, so-called white man, the Ishmaelites of Moab, Hagarenes, Gabal, Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistine with the inhabitants of Tyre. Ashurites also join with them, and they have hope in the children of Lot, Salah, all right? So right there, this is the reason why they ain't speaking on Asians or East Indians or Japhetic people in the damn, about the coronavirus, because Japhetic people is a people of color too. Why they ain't talking about, oh, well, Hawaiians or Aborigines of Australia, well, they're catching coronavirus too. You don't hear shit about them. Only you Jakes, man. But you're going to have a simple-ass Jake, they're going to believe it. But you know what? Good for you, because this is going to be your destruction. So this is the book of Psalms 50, and I'm going to start at verses 19. It says, thou givest thy mouth to evil, and thy tongue frameth deceit. Talking about E. This is deceitful. Your news media, that's all the deceit, man. That's all the damn lie. It's fake. And it says, and thou sittest and speakest against thy brother. Thou slanderest thy own mother's son. All right, so there you go, man. That's slander, saying that, oh well, the blacks and Hispanics, they're the ones that's spreading this. That's slander, when especially when it's a lie. And it says, and these things hast thou done, and I kept silence. Lord, just let it happen. Thou thoughtest that I was altogether such as one as thyself, but I will reprove thee and set them in order before thy eyes. So the Most High is gonna raise us up at the end of the day, and there's nothing that you devils gonna do about it. All right. I got one more precept here. This is the book of where am I at? Daniel 12:1. And it says, and at that time Michael should stand up, the great prince was standing for the children of thy people, and there should be a time of trouble, such it was since there was a nation, not even to that same time, and at that time thy people shall be delivered, everyone that should be found in the written in the book. All right, so these are the times we coming in Jacob's trouble. All right, and you see that they're targeting you already. We're targeting us, but we like to separate ourselves from you 2/3, man, because we don't believe we're going to catch the same hell you're going to catch, all right? You've been warned. But anyway, with that, all praises and glory and honor is due to Yahweh Shai. And with that, Shalom and the Baba Ball.